Welcome back into the Pig Trail Show. Time for some Diamond Talk. Dudley Dawson, special guest on with me. I'm Evan Camico. Dudley, let's get right into it. Arkansas sweeps number 8 LSU. I guess what's your overall takeaway? Was this expected for Arkansas to sweep LSU at home, or were you a little surprised by it?
A little surprised. I think that obviously Arkansas has been playing really good ball, but LSU's still a very good team, and they only lost these 3 games by 6 runs total this weekend. The thing I liked most about Arkansas was they had a little adversity, fought through it, and were able to get the sweep. And that's a big deal because LSU is going to get better. They're going to go beat some teams. They've got a murderer's row there early. But to be 8-1 after 3 series, and Kentucky is 7-1, and nobody else has any less than 3 losses, kind of puts you in great shape so far.
Yeah, and when you look at kind of Arkansas overall, the bats were timely this weekend, but really I think it was the pitching, whether it was Cody Frank yesterday, Will McIntyre yesterday, and Friday, that bullpen really was quite spectacular yet again for Arkansas.
Yeah, the starting staff gets a lot of publicity, and they should because they've done great through the year. There's been some inefficiency with pitches, in the last couple of weekends, but I know they're going to get that corrected. But that bullpen, whether it be freshman Gabe Gackle, as you mentioned, Cody Frank, Will McIntyre is just a jack of all trades. You can put him in any situation. And they've just been able to get a lot of effort out of there. And it's so different than last year when you went into the weekend with TBA as your starting pitchers.
And one pitcher that we saw yesterday making his season debut was Hunter Dietz. What'd you think about his performance? Some guy who, very highly touted freshman out of school and hopefully will make a much larger impact as the weeks go on in SEC play.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch him pitch during fall ball. He's electric. He's someone that, they're very high on. So are major league scouts. Obviously, they're going to have to wait a couple of years, but he is going to be a force as they continue to get him in situations like that. And you've got guys out there that, Gage, West, they didn't even use this weekend. It's going to be, Gage Wood, excuse me, that it's going to be, big things too. They've just got a lot of pitching depth, and it's good to see, I know, for Arkansas fans.
Yeah, and like you said, Gage Wood. We also didn't see Jake Faraday, or really, we saw Christian Vouch making his only 5th appearance, and he's out there throwing 97, 98, and I'm thinking, why haven't we seen this guy a little bit more?
Yeah, and it's all about control with him. As long as he's got the control, he's going to be very effective. If not, you got to pretty much get him out of there pretty quickly. But it's been a great job by Matt Hobbs with the pitching staff.
And we talked a lot about the pitching. Let's look kind of at the field and some of the players. Peyton Stovall, obviously injury aside, he was going to be a big part of it. And finally, he's come through. Only had 2 hits last year against LSU. This year, I think he totaled 6 or 8 anywhere between their hits. What has he done for this Arkansas lineup, getting him back and giving them another, jolt of energy?
Well, the first thing he's done is taught LSU another lesson about how they should have offered him a scholarship. And, he continues. He turned down a lot of money to come to Arkansas and play. He's building it right back up. I mean, he's going to be a great high draft pick. And, we talk about his offense a lot, but that defense has been stellar as well. And he's kind of their inspirational guy, too. After he has gone through so many injuries, he's back out there. He's crushing the ball. They're very excited about it, and they should be. He's a team leader. He's one of the captains, and he's the leadoff guy, one of the most powerful leadoff guys in the league, no doubt.
Absolutely. And kind of before we shift gears and talk softball, I'm curious, in your opinion, what do you have your eye on more as a position battle for the rest of the season until postseason really starts to pick up? Is it that catcher spot between Helfrich and White, or is it kind of those outfield spots between Lovich, Edmondson, and Wilmsmeyer?
I like both of those situations, and I think they do too. They've got the opportunity to match them up in different things. The one thing about Hudson White, he struggled out of the gate a little bit, but has had some big hits now that conference play's gotten going. And Ryder Helfrich, he's a superstar in the waiting. His outs are loud, and obviously the home run down at Auburn, that was so big. You could tell he's going to be a big-time player down the line. You have so many options at these positions. You can just mix and match, and I think that's why, not only in addition to the triplets, why Coach Van Horn and his staff are smiling so much.
Absolutely. And let's switch gears. Let's talk some softball now. Arkansas fell earlier today to Georgia 8-2. I think the biggest thing about this Arkansas pitching staff for softball is the lack of depth, therefore. We know Robin Herron has been dealing with an injury. She's been day-to-day, but really when you're throwing out Morgan Linestock and Hannah Cammons in every single game, does that kind of, hurt Arkansas, the fact that the pitching depth isn't what we once thought it would be this season?
Yeah, Coach Deifel has talked about that, and those other girls are going to get back and be ready to go, and you're going to have more depth in that thing. But you've got, I think the 2 that you mentioned are now 15-2 overall. They're throwing a lot of innings. You want to kind of ease off of that. It was a big win for them yesterday. I'm up here in Pennsylvania actually visiting my new grandson, and we sat and watched that game. And I will always have that memory of Bree Ellis, me telling him, this girl's really good. You should watch her. And not many 2 months old, get it. But she hit a home run. That was a big win for them. They'll try to win the series tomorrow. You want to do that, but getting that first win was huge for them, I think, and kind of got them back off the mindset that they had at the end of the last weekend when they lost to Mississippi State.
Absolutely. And before we go, what are you looking forward to most in that Game 3 between Arkansas and Georgia tomorrow?
I'm wondering if Morgan Leinstock's going to go back out there. Now, will Georgia, who's one of the better offensive teams in the country, will they make adjustments, and will she make adjustments? So it's going to be, it's 3-2 yesterday. I suspect something will be pretty close to that as well. I'm sure that Georgia will be bringing back Backus as well.
Absolutely. Dudley, thank you so much for your time and talking some Diamonds with me. That's going to do it for this segment of the Pig Trail Show. More show coming up after the break.